Hello everyone, my name is Matt Scorpion, and welcome back to another week in Destiny. This time on Tuesday, I will cover some real quick things. Double Nightfall Week. I will stress it is Double Nightfall Week, so that is an important thing right off the bat to address for all those looking to get adept weapons as well as, just general grind materials. I will say it's not an easy Nightfall, but we'll cover that when we actually get to it. Now, another thing to mark once we get off here. I completely forgot what I was going to say. That's right. So, as some parts of the world, some people don't actually have this, but for those of you that have been affected by daylight savings times, where we move our clocks 1 hour back, basically, it is basically to say that Reset has adjusted time. It was originally 1 p.m. Eastern, I think 11 or 10 Pacific in terms of U.S. times, but is now 9 Pacific, 12 Eastern. So that's basically just saying, depending on what hour or area you are, if you actually have daylight savings time, Reset might have been now happening an hour sooner. So right now it is at 12 for certain parts of the world, or whenever it is in your regions. But basically, Reset is happening at different times. Figured I would let people know that. Now, getting into what's happening in the world, basically. It is Double Nightfall Week, I will say that again, so it is Double Nightfall Rewards, not rewards specifically, but going throughout our details, we have Team Scorched once available again for Crucible, and I will stress, for your challenges, if you did not do the Scorched quest in the thing, and you are looking for options to either get Bright Dust XP or just generally finish all of these challenges, this is one that needs to be done either this week or one of the future weeks that it will be available. I will only guess it's around for another 2 weeks total. So you need to spend some time in Team Scorched if you want to actually get every challenge done. Now, as well, for our Vanguard moving over, the Grandmaster Nightfall this week is the Hollow Lair once again. So this is a tough one, but it is definitely doable with enough practice, and once you actually get good at it, you'll be able to complete this without any problems whatsoever. But per the usual, just because Scorn, it is Unstoppable Overload Champions, the modifiers Fetching Rupture is actually going to be a little bit easier to handle because they since have reworked mini Screeves so that they actually shouldn't be disappearing as much as possible, and you should be able to keep an eye on them much more regularly. Now, as well, Grandmaster modifiers per the usual, so it is Match Game for shields being highly resistant to everything except the matching elements, Equipment Lock, Extinguish, so if everyone dies, you all go to orbit, Limited Revives, Mob Champions, and Chaff for no radar. Now, as well, Fanatic Seal, incoming stasis and splash damage is increased. Now, there isn't many stasis-dealing opponents in this aside from Ravagers. Now, if you keep them away, of course, they won't be a problem. If you kill them before they get to you, they won't be a problem. As well, splash damage, I suppose that's the only really difficult one, just because everything explodes is going to hurt a little bit more. Aside from that, there isn't much craziness to go on with that. And double rewards is Comedian Shadow Price, so shotgun and auto rifle if you're looking for some PvE weaponry. Now, as well for Gambit, I don't know why I even bother checking. There's nothing new in Gambit per the usual. Now, moving throughout the world, checking Europa, we have the Agility Simulation with the Asterian Abyss Eclipse Zone with the Warrior Empire Hunt for your Pinnacle gear. Now, as well, checking just throughout all of our raids, for Deepstone Crypt, we have Red Rover Challenge, that's Security Challenge. So once again, it is the first encounter. Basically, you have to have everyone basically do the operator job for at least 2 of the buttons, which requires a 3-phase guarantee. Now, moving into the Legends tab for Vault of Glass, it is the Templar Challenge, which is basically prevent him or kill him while preventing him from teleporting. Now, it is going to be a little bit more difficult for Master, but if you have the light and you got the guns, it is definitely more possible. Now, per the usual with Master, there is a specific weapon, which would actually happen to be Fatebringer, wait, that's the right word, right? Yeah, it's Time Lost Fatebringer available if you actually manage to do challenge mode on Master, as well as strength-focused armor for the whole raid. And so that being said, moving forward to the last raid in rotation right now, we have Garden of Salvation for the To the Top challenge, which I forget what it is again. I think that's Final Boss, or you know, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm not going to waste time looking. I think it's either Final Boss or the one before that. That being said, though, moving throughout our world, there isn't much. Once again, I did check Ada. There's no armor past 55, so there's nothing really worth picking up unless there's any crazy stat distributions. But checking our weapons, we have False Promises. I don't know why I keep trying to call it Hollow Words. False Promises with Overflow Eye of the Storm. It's not the worst roll on a high impact, but it's not the best. It's definitely not something I would recommend. Although if you need an auto rifle for or anti-barrier, I suppose why there could be worse options. Now, a long shadow, this one is a pretty good looking one, because it has a short zoom and a medium zoom scope with steady or alloy rounds, as well as snapshot and outlaw and a range masterwork. That can be a pretty gnarly sniper if you want to take it into the crucible and get some good with it. Now, nature of the beast, this one's another role. It's half good, half bad. Dragonfly, hipfire grip's pretty meh, especially when it's on something like a vertical frame, where honestly aiming down sight is almost everything. Now, the number as well, a pretty solid vertical frame auto rifle, but Sympathetic Arsenal Surplus isn't really a good one. Sympathetic Arsenal is not terrible, but also, at the same time, how often do you actually remember you have that equipped on the guns you have it on? Now, as well, Behringer's Memory, there's actually, there's no point in even checking that. And, ooh, a Memory Interdict. This one could actually be good. Now, Spike Grenades are good, but also High Explosive Ordnance, because that is larger rounds, as well as Danger Zone. The blast radius increases when surrounded by combatants, and as well as Underdog. That's actually not terrible on something like a grenade launcher, especially when their reload steps are pretty meh. This actually could be a pretty good one. I might recommend people pick that up. That is actually one worth heading. Now, aside from, like I said, it is double Nightfall rewards. Our reset timers have been adjusted a little bit, but that is pretty much everything that's happening throughout the world. There isn't, and once again, there's not much actually happening until the December 7th update. But pretty much, yeah, in terms of Destiny and everything that's been going on, I actually managed to get my Gilded Conqueror this time around, once again this season. And I will say, this one has been a rough reset. Now, in terms of difficulty for the main three, the difficult ones, I would say it kind of went Hollowed Lair, Proving Grounds, then Corrupted. Corrupted, I think, is still the worst in history, just because I don't know what it is about that strike. It's long, it's got a few mechanics that are a little bit annoying, but at the same time, everyone has their own opinions on what's difficult in these strikes. That being said, my name is Matt Scorpion, and I will see you in the next video.